Once again, Charles Oliveira picked up an impressive win, this time submitting Justin Gaethje in the first round at UFC 274. See what fighters thought of his performance in the latest edition of MMA Pros React.
Yeah, Oliveira's amazing, man. He's so dangerous everywhere. I was listening to, maybe it was the Morning Combat Show or whatever. It was just talking about how Oliveira, anytime he gets dropped, he gets like the boxing luxury of a 10 count because nobody in the world wants to follow him up. And it was just one of those things that it's like, I think I kind of like established myself there. I hope that I don't get dropped, but it's just one of those things that it's like, the string of attack for Oliveira never stops. You know, he's so good on the feet, and it's like if it goes to the ground, like he's already just in a good position there too. He's just so dangerous everywhere, and that's a fighter that I definitely try to like bring my style towards.
It was amazing. Like he was able to weather the storm with Gaethje. He got knocked down twice, and because of his amazing jiu-jitsu, he was able to take the knockdowns and just hang out on the back, catch his earrings, and get right back in the fight. I think that was the biggest thing. A lot of other guys, when they get knocked down by Gaethje, that's usually like a precursor to the end. But for him, you don't want to be on the ground with him, so he gets to recover. And then, you know, when he gets on anyone's back, Poirier, anybody in that division, he's the best jiu-jitsu player I think I've ever seen in that division. So I wasn't really surprised he was able to get the finish what they got on the ground. It's just disappointing, but H should be back. He's always hanging around the top contender spots.
I think that Charles was even surprised that rear naked choke was just like popped in like that. So that fight was kind of crazy because you saw Justin swing so heavy that he like made himself fall down like twice or 2 or 3 times, and he was swinging for lights out punches because he thought that he was going to intimidate Charles. And it's so cool to see Charles like been around for that long and no one believes him. So I'm like, how do you guys not see this guy's like the real deal? Like he's there, you know. It's cool to see him kind of come into light as like a true champion and defend it against, you know, Gaethje's tough as hell, and he had him hurt a few times, and you know, Charles survived. He's a fighter, man. I like seeing that fight in person. And then the freaking Tony Ferguson and Chandler fight, that was insane to see that in person, to see everyone's reaction. Unbelievable. It was it's such a scary situation because like when you're the fighter, you see the side of this guy's hurt, he's knocked down, but the fans, they went like animalistic, like they were screaming, like cheering. I'm like, oh my god, MMA is so brutal. Like these guys are so happy this guy just got knocked out, but I'm like, that's part of it. But it's just like you don't see that very often. Not like that. That was completely that was so different. It was a powerful kick, you know, great setup, and that was a good fight too.
It was so good. I love watching Charles Oliveira. He's just so like well-rounded. Like his striking and his grappling and everything flows. The only thing he does get hit a bit in the beginning, but he seems to always just be able to like shake it off and get his game going. But his jiu-jitsu is like flawless. He just transitions so well. Like nobody can move as well as him. I think it's like one of his best benefits.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. You know, he did well. You know, the odds were definitely against him. If you're a bookie, if you're a bookie, or you know, you like to bet. You know, I think because of his past, you know, where people think that he's quitting during fights and giving up, they think that's like part of his DNA. But you know, I think we've seen Charles Oliveira 2.0. You know, he was still winning back then. You know, but now that you know, it seems that he's got his mind right. And, you know, everything in his life is in order, you know. I think it's the best version of Charles Oliveira. And also another cool thing, I think, like, you know, he's been dropped in every single one of his title fights and defenses, but nobody dares to get in his guard. So he's got, like, you know, like 30 extra seconds to let the cobwebs clear, you know. So, you know, he's so dangerous and no one wants to capitalize. You know, if anybody else gets dropped, you know, Justin Gaethje is jumping on him. You know, Dustin Poirier is jumping on him. Michael Chandler's jumping on him, but they don't want those problems in his guard. So, you know, him being so good off his back and with jiu-jitsu, you know, gives him, you know, a bit of an extra edge, you know, if he gets in trouble.
Well, it shows Justin definitely has a hole right there. For being such a great wrestler, he doesn't use it. We're in MMA, and you should be trying to use every weapon you have, not just defensively, but offensively. But and Charles is just on another level, dude, and he showed that, man. He could be up there, you know, in that Khabib status. I'm curious to see who they'll give to him next, but man, Charles is just on another level. But missing weight sucks, and he apparently he's done that a lot. I hate to hear that for somebody being so good. You know, you can't be missing weight, dude. Like, come on, man. You know, like people are counting on you to do certain things, and the last thing you should do is miss weight.
Yeah, I mean, he looked amazing. It was intense, very intense fight. To be honest, I was rooting a little bit for Justin because I met him before. I went to Elevation before, and my friend like trained in the same gym and stuff.
Okay.
So, but like, I mean, I wasn't surprised because we know how good Oliveira is. You know?
Charles is so impressive. I mean, and it really shows, like, even outside of the octagon, like him and his team were like right down the hall from me in the hotel. And I shit you not, like right after weigh-ins, they were literally partying until the next day, until the day. I was like, dude, are you gonna rest and chill and like hang out? And they just love to be there. I mean, he just truly loves what he does, you know, and he has fun doing it, and his team has fun. And I think that's so important. You know, we put so much pressure on ourselves, like, oh, we got to get this done. There's enough pressure when you go in there, right? So why not make it fun? Why not make it a good time? And I think that's one of the things that I love about him is that not only is he like a fucking G, like all around badass fighter, but he just seems like he genuinely loves life and he enjoys like the moment, you know, and that's so freaking important in the sport. It's so important. So that is like one of my favorite things about him. He's always like having a good time, smile on his face. I never see him up, you know, he's never seen like upset or mad or anything like that.
Honestly, I expected that fight to go exactly how it went. Gaethje was gonna drop him. Gaethje was gonna hurt him, but just Oliveira's got. You know what he does really well is that when he gets hurt, he purposely lays down. So he might not have gotten knocked down, but it probably went down as a knockdown because he got hit, probably stunned. But he goes to his back knowing that most guys are not going to jump on. So it almost gives him like 15 seconds to kind of recoup. And then he gets back up and then he's back in it again. Because if you're in such good shape, you know, you're going to recover quick from getting stunned. And I think he does a really good job of using that as a game plan. Like if you get rocked, just go to your back because they're not going to hop on you. So it's almost like you're giving yourself some recovery time, because if you stay up, you're going to keep getting cracked. I think it's smart.
With that original flow, head kicks with the pros, picks up the fights or anything in the mix. Getting closer to the heart of the flame, bringing conversations with heavy hitting names. You feel the love of the game.